Hello, all sentient beings, and welcome to the Transmissions podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third party.
Transformers!
This week, we have a new Legend Scale Mirage from Newage Toys. Mastermind Creations shows off progress on their Deathsaurus, and we've got lots of rumors for upcoming legacy figures from Hasbro. Today is Wednesday, January 5th, 2022, and this is episode 467 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that hopes super contagious Omicron doesn't evolve a way to transmit over the internet. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Happy New Year. Hello.
Scott, the illustrious Dr. Pants.
Hello, everyone.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
What year is it? Let's talk Transformers.
2022.
2020 also.
How many times are we going to have that joke this year, Jeremy? just asking.
How many shows do we do in a year?
A lot.
Put it on the survey whether you want people to hear it or not.
Okay, well, it's a new year, hopefully promising new adventures and new hopefulness, but we do have to start off on a sad note because at the end of last year, we did lose a very important part of Transformers history. So Derek J. Wyatt, who he's a animation director and art director who's worked on lots of animated TV shows, in particular Transformers Animated. He passed away in December, and it was very unexpected. He was only 49 years old, so it's really kind of a tragedy that he passed away. We don't really have any other information or details. We just got this information from Josh Perez on social media, and he heard from Derek's family, but there hasn't been any more information put out yet. But just condolences go out to Derek's family and friends, and it's really just really kind of shocking and sad that we lost him so soon, at such a young age. And Josh Perez was a really good friend of Derek's, and he we had them both on the show together a few years ago, and that was it was a really fun time just talking to them. They were both fans of Transformers and had done contributed lots of stuff to Transformers in general and the fandom. And if you're friends with Josh on Facebook, you can see his tribute to Derek on his Facebook page. It was a really, heartfelt statement, just talking about how all the how much they had been good friends and everything. So I don't know. I guess that's all I can say is just. Rest in peace and condolences to the family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when we interviewed Josh, it was only supposed to be just Josh, and he showed up and he's like, "Hey, I brought a friend," and and then Derek Wyatt was there. It was like, "Holy shit, we got Derek Wyatt too! Holy wow, that was amazing." Yeah. So yeah, we had to come up with that wasn't really hard, but we came up with questions for Derek as well, and it was a really fun interview. You could definitely tell that he and Josh were really good friends, and they had a lot of fun on that interview. I posted it when I found out on Twitter, and I think it was back in 2015, something like that. But it was it was a while ago. But yeah, you can still listen to the podcast that we did with them on there, and you can see that they had a really fun time just chatting away.
Yeah, we'll link to that in the show notes too.
Yeah, every time I ran into Derek for the first time at like BotCon 2011, I think. That's where they had like the big animated set. And I had no idea like who he was at the time, and he was so gracious. And then just every time, I've encountered him either like online or through the podcast, he's always been so great. And yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone say anything bad about him. He was like pretty universally liked. It's just a huge loss.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we'll move on with the show, but again, condolences to his family and his friends. So, we'll move on with the rest of the show. We do want to mention that we have a new Donatron. So Skert, one of our friends on the Discord, gave us an early Christmas present. And so Skert, thanks for signing up and hanging out with us. And this week, with the new year, we have a brand new episode of Empire of Rust, episode 66. This is our Transformers Live Play RPG podcast. So episode 66, Execute Order 66. And that just came out this Monday, January 3rd. So you can listen to that. That's at transmissionspodcast.com/rust. And, of course, we do have the December Toy Hacks drawing we need to get to, but we're going to hold that off until next week. So there's still time to sign up for that contest. If you want to get the Toy Hacks $10 gift code, get into the Toy Hacks $10 gift code drawing from December. You can be a Donatron. If you are already signed up on the Donatron, you're automatically entered. But if you are not a Donatron, you can send an entry just by sending an email to contest@transmissionspodcast.com with a picture of the Transformer you'd like to get stickers for. So you've still got time. It doesn't
actually have to be the figure you're going to get stickers for, but
any figure in your collection.
Of any Transformer
in your collection.
Yes.
But you've got until Sunday, January 9th to enter. All right, well, let's jump right into some toy news.
All right, and we're going to start off this week and this new year with a HasLab Transformers Victory Saber backer update. All right, so we got a quick little update for those people who backed the HasLab Victory Saber project, and it was nothing much, just a quick little update to say, hey, guess what? We've got the molds done for the Victory Saber, and it's a big set of tooling molds made out of steel, and they are just showing you a couple pieces of these things just to show that they are what they look like. Some people really, you don't really get a good look or a lot of knowledge of what kind of goes on behind the curtain when what goes into making Transformers. And this is a really nice look. You see there's these giant pieces of steel that are used to inject plastic into that, then the plastic comes out of, it's cooled, and then pieces are broken off of, and then they're assembled into your figure. It's how it's made. These pieces of tooling or molds are hundreds of thousands of dollars a piece, and they're very, very hard to make. They're made with laser etching. So they wanted to show off that they've done this for the Victory Saber project, and it's working its way through. Generally, when these things are done and complete and everything's kind of, tested and assembled, once everything's approved, they really don't have to go back to this process. It's once it's done, and these molds can make good 100,000 or so pieces, maybe more. So I think we only expecting was it 12,000 or so? Or well, how do we got 20,000? We got 20,000 victory sabers, didn't we? So yeah, we're probably pretty good for we're not going to need to kind of redo these molds on victory sabers. So that's very cool, and yeah, we'll look forward to the next update on this.
Yeah. If you open the images like in a new tab, they're actually really huge images. So
oh yeah,
it's really cool. You can see all the detail.
Yeah, lots of cool detail going on in there. My actual topic for this week was a new figure from Newage, and that is their H42 Sheen. I think it's Sheen or Sean, might even be Sean. And it's their Legends Scale G1 Mirage. So we got some pictures of the G1 version and some variant color images. So I want to say this thing is, Newage has been doing a really good job right from the get-go, right from their Bumblebee figure, which was their first. And this Mirage figure is no different. It's incredible. It really is. The amount of work that they've been able to put into this guy to make it look like a G1 Mirage is amazing. The variants, so they've got one is definitely an animation model. The other is a toy model, and you can see the differences there. I want to say I'm really impressed with the fact that you can see that the shoulder rocket is not something that comes off during transformation. It actually is integrated into the transformation, and you can see it sitting there in the driver's seat in the alt mode. I think that's incredible that they've done that in the transformation. I'm seeing here 5 different color variations. So you've got the toy colors, the animation colors, the toy colors, and kind of head molds. You've got a translucent blue, like a translucent black, and then you've got the Diaclone kind of red. I can't remember what they called that one, but yeah, this guy looks absolutely incredible. Dr. Pants, what do you think of Sean here?
Sean looks incredible. He's doing a great job pulling off that look. This is a really cool figure. I mean, Newage does a really good job at like making like these kind of mini masterpiece legend scale figures, and I'm really impressed with all the different variations they're getting out of this mold. I mean, they're gonna get their money's worth. I am a huge fan, actually, of Mirage in his toy style. I love that head. I don't know what it is about the toy head sculpt, but I always loved it. So that looks really, really cool, both in the normal toy colors and the Diaclone colors. And also, I love that they're all called Sean, except for like the black and white translucent one with the hints of red, and then it's called Lamont Cranston as a nod to the shadow. Like, really? That's kind of cool. I like that. That's a weird cut.
You're talking about the Shadow, the Pulp Fiction, or like the Pulp character?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows.
Yes. Lamont Cranston, wealthy man about town. I think that was the tagline or something. But anyway, these look really cool, and I like it a lot. I wish I collected Legends, because I'd totally be for this, but I don't know if it has a place in my collection. And I do have one complaint. Why is, in all the color variations they did, because there's like, 5 or 6 different color variations, why is there no lime green and hot pink like G2 one? I would have expected that one over the like black and white translucent one. So, and apparently that one's based off of a Henkai figure, which, but yeah. I'm just surprised they didn't do a G2 one in this lineup, but it does look really cool. I like looking at Newage's stuff, and yeah, I wish I collected it, but I'm sure anyone who does will love it.
Mm-hmm. That's very cool. I didn't. The Lamont Cranston one is one that, I mean, I don't know the reference, so So I'm glad that that you were able to explain that to me. That's very cool. Um, Jeremy, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it looks really good. The animation one is just perfect in my opinion. And then all the other ones, like the color difference between the animation one and the toy one, it's just so stark, and you can just tell. I don't know, just that kind of teal blue that they used on the toy one. It looks so good. I really like that one too. I'm not as big on the head for the toy one as Dr. Pants, but it still looks really good. And then just, like we saw with the previous Mirages that have been at various TF cons over the last few years, the translucent ones were just, you knew they were coming, and just having all of this all at once, I really like. I'm also not, one to collect a lot of these third-party legends, but it looks so good, and this would be one that I would be tempted to get if I were at a show and saw it. But who knows if that's ever going to happen again. But yeah, these look really good. I really, really like them, and I didn't even realize that the missile kind of became part of the cockpit until you pointed that out. It's a really neat touch.
Mm-hmm. And Charles, many people don't know this about you, but back before you did the podcast, you were a heavy smoker, to the point where you were smoking six packs a day. But you weren't just smoking anything. You were smoking fancy French cigarettes. And you were smoking the brand that's featured here on the Mirage, the Satanes. And does this kind of, 6 packs a day is tough. So seeing even the name has got to invoke some kind of reflex in your brain. Can you separate from the toy to, the old memories of the smoking habit?
Now you're just slandering me. I mean, I don't understand. Like, I'm getting physically ill thinking about smoking 6 packs of cigarettes a day.
But you had great taste. It was fancy French cigarettes. You wouldn't smoke just anything.
Okay. I don't think that makes it better, but okay.
When you started down this path, I assumed you were going to talk about his past history as an F1 racer.
He already was a fighter pilot. So,
Oh, so the F1 driver was too much of a stretch.
It's a step down, really.
This is a great little figure. I mean, all these variants are cool. The original animation model version, I think, is the best one. I like that, and also the translucent one, the blue translucent one, I think looks really cool. So yeah, these would definitely be something that I'd take a second look at TFCon if I saw that there and could pick it up there. I really think these, Mirage is not such a huge character for me that I need 5 versions of this figure, but I guess it's nice for people who are really into Mirage. I don't know if you're really a fan of Mirage, are you picking up the Diaclone red version instead of the regular Mirage version, or are you picking up all of them? Mm-hmm. But it's a good figure. It's a really good looking figure. Looks really well articulated. The transformation looks really interesting. So yeah, I'm intrigued by this figure. I'm also intrigued by who is a fan of the Shadow in Newage Toys. And yeah. It's funny because like the reason I am familiar with the Shadows, because when I was a kid, my dad would, when he would have me listen to they broadcast old radio dramas on the, AM radio stations in the 80s. So these radio dramas from the 40s, they broadcast them in the 80s. And The Shadow was one of those. And then I think Alec Baldwin was in the Shadow movie, like in the 90s or early 2000s. I think that movie bombed pretty bad.
Right. Yeah. That's how I know it.
Yeah.
The movie.
But yeah, I mean, and also it is relevant because The Shadow was like he was basically like he's a mentalist. Like he would hypnotize people so that they couldn't see him. So he'd do was hear his voice, but they couldn't actually see where he was. So he was essentially invisible to them. So, that's the link between The Shadow and Mirage. So
that makes sense.
Oh, and somebody just brought up that, because I was looking through the comments, that the reason he's called Sheen is because Charlie Sheen was the Wraith.
Oh, okay.
And that might be a callback to that.
But it's not Sheen. It's Sheen.
But Sean isn't Shean. I don't even know what that is. So they might be.
It's Irish. It's Irish Sean.
But Sean doesn't have an H in it. It's just Sean, like Sean Bean or Sean Bond. Sean Bond or
Shawn.
Shawn.
Yeah.
Sean. We need to get somebody from Newage on here to tell us how to pronounce these damn names.
Yeah. I did find I posted in the Discord chat a picture of the Shadow character and the Lamont version, and the colors really do match with like where he has the red on his chest and Shadow has this like red scarf.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the reason, it's a good choice.
I want to point out before we moved on is that the height of this thing, everyone knows their legend scale, which is tiny, but this thing is supposedly 7.6 centimeters tall, which for you guys confuses you. I know the centimeters is just something you can't fathom, but to convert it into your Neanderthal measurements is 3 inches. This figure is 3 inches tall. That's it. And they've done all of this in that small of a scale, which is incredible. So I'm knowing that now that it's only 3 inches tall, I'm much more impressed with this. Thing is minute.
We've come a long way in legend scale engineering.
Yeah.
That just makes me glad I don't collect them, because I do not know that I could handle the transformation of these things with my giant gorilla hands.
It's really incredible. Anyway, that's what I had for this week, guys. Jeremy, you're up.
All right. This came out on Christmas Eve. A user, JT Prime 17 on the TFW 2005 forums, posted a list of upcoming legacy store exclusives. These are all still rumors. I mean, we're just basing this off of this one post, but it's kind of interesting what store is getting what. Just to run down these, they mentioned Walmart is getting Velocitron Deluxe Clampdown, Burnout, Blur, Cosmos, Road Rocket, and then Velocitron Voyager Road Hauler and Override, and Leader Black Convoy with Tanker, which that one interests me because that would be like the Laser Prime kind of design, but in black. Target is getting buzzworthy like Legacy Deluxe Silver Streak, Legacy Multi-Pack, which they say will have Goldbug, Ransack, Toy Scorponok, and Paralyzer, Legacy Deluxe Toy Deco Pterosaur, and Legacy Accessory Pack, which is mentioned to be a red cog. And going on to our back to our discussion from a couple weeks ago with the whole Buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff. Now we're getting Buzzworthy Legacy, and there's Buzzworthy Studios. That's just, the whole naming convention is a mess. Let's see. Walgreens is getting a Legacy Deluxe Minerva, which you can expect to be probably $5 more expensive than any other Legacy Deluxe. Amazon is getting the Legacy Wreckers set, which is Deluxe Impactor, Deluxe Twin Twist, Deluxe Topspin, Deluxe Leadfoot, Voyager Springer, and Voyager Bulkhead Redeco, and then the Legacy Deluxe Fractal, which is a Pterosaur redeco. Fan channel, which I guess that is just your Big Bad Toy stores and, you know, OTF stores like that. Legacy Deluxe Beast Wars Sandstorm, Night Prowler, Beast Wars Buzzsaw, Legacy Selects Deluxe DK3. Not sure what that is.
Donkey
Deluxe
Kong
Guard.
3.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, Guard, Deluxe Lift Ticket, and Voyager Cyclonus's Armada. That one seems interesting. And then Pulse exclusive is Legacy PulseCon set, Orion packs, or Deluxe Orion packs, Voyager Alpha Triumph. So I'm guessing there's going to be a PulseCon this year. And then ones that they didn't have a destination for was a Core Class Pack Rat, Voyager Antagony, and a Titan Guardian Robot, which we'll have to talk about that in a minute. But some of these names were interesting because like that, which one? The Fractal and the Pack Rat, those are both BotCon, like classic BotCon characters where they, you know, kind of took the Beast Wars molds and made their own characters. So that's kind of interesting that Hasbro is now bringing those into mainline releases. And then, you know, the Toy Guardian Robot, that's Omega Supreme, right? Like, or a redeco of Omega Supreme.
Sounds like it.
So, you know, those of us that didn't get Omega Supreme, now's our chance to get a new one. But I'm excited about all of these because I tend to go for some of these exclusives, like the Amazon ones. Those are easy gets for me. The Pulse exclusives. But what are you guys interested in? Like, Dr. Pants, start with you. Which one of these, or which figures here really interest you?
Right off the bat, Walgreens Legacy Deluxe Minerva, because I want to see any of the Japanese continuity stuff come over here. Like, I want to see more of that. I mean, we got the Star Saber, the Victory Saber, that's great. Now there's a Minerva. The only problem is the only Walgreens that was near me, and the closest one was over an hour away, it closed down. So I'm going to have to try and go online to find it. Yeah.
I know I got a ton near me, so I'll keep my eye out. I'm around the corner from one.
That's awesome. Thank you. I definitely want the Velocitron Leader Black Convoy because that's Scourge. That's RID Scourge. Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't want Laser Prime, but I want Scourge, so I am down for that. As far as the others, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff here. I kind of want to see how it turns out. Specifically, like Road Rocket, Road Hauler. Well, I guess Hauler's just going to be because that's the green, like Grapple or Inferno, I think. So that's probably just going to be that mold. But Road Rocket was a weird character when I looked it up, and I'm pretty sure they're just going to take the RC mold. They've got the Prime RC mold and turn it into that. But I'm still curious to see like these characters who we haven't seen in a long time get figures and see what they turn into, or see how
we're getting a Deluxe Cosmos, which I'm curious about because traditionally Cosmos has been a smaller figure.
True, but they have been for a while now doing the mini bots as Deluxes, just smaller with accessories and whatnot. And I mean, I love the old Legend Scale Cosmos they put out. That was a really cool figure. But I'm given how like Warpath and Cliff Jumper and what other ones have we gotten? Like all of those that were the mini bots, but in Deluxe, like they've all been really cool with really nice transformations. I want to see how Cosmos turns out. I'm a little bummed though that he's like an exclusive figure and not like it's not a repaint of Cosmos or something. But I mean, we will have to wait and see. I'm also waiting to see if the Legacy Wreckers Voyager Springer is maybe a Siege Springer without all the battle damage on it.
That might be what they do. I mean, we already know.
Galvatron.
I thought we already knew about one of them. Yeah.
Oh, one of these that's on here?
I can't remember. I think, was it the Impactor?
Oh,
I thought one of these was a reissue, but just with a different paint. And then we have the bulkhead, which it says here's a redeco.
yeah. There's been a couple of these that have leaked online recently because I know like the deluxe Silver Streak, the Gold Bug,
Yeah.
Night Prowler, and Buzzsaw I saw online. Like pictures of those leaked. So, and none of them have battle damage on it, which is good. I hope all of Legacy goes away from that and we never see it ever again.
We can only hope.
Yes, but Minerva, that's my number one on there. I hope I get a hold of one.
Awesome. Charles, what kind of draws your eye on this list?
So one question I have is, has we had any discussion about a Velocitron line? Like, are these legacy figures?
I wasn't going to mention that because I didn't know if I just wasn't remembering.
Like, I don't remember anything about, like, is this a sub line of legacy, or is this a completely new line that they're doing exclusively for Walmart? I mean, that's my first question.
Walmart this was from September. Walmart exclusive Velocitron line rumored for 2022.
Okay.
So
it might just be instead of them getting the buzzworthy Bumblebee line, we get Velocitron from Walmart, which doesn't make any damn sense, but they at least have their own like branding.
Yeah. So Target gets buzzworthy, Walmart gets Velocitron, Amazon gets the Wreckers.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets to feel special
with stupid names that they didn't need to put on there.
I know, like Wreckers, stupid.
Well,
yeah, I mean, so some things that stick out to me, like what the top spin and twin twist, are these going to be new molds, or just are we going back to the old Titans Return molds? Is this Minerva a new mold? Does that mean we're getting a Legacy Nightbeat at some point?
Did they ever make Minerva out of the Nightbeat?
Not that I can remember. Not for Western release. No, I don't. I mean,
I know the Nightbeat figure we got in Thrilling 30s got turned into a Go Shooter. Well, I don't think we ever got a Minerva. And also, just on that note, I think it was leaked when they were talking about Legacy about a possible either Nightbeat or Minerva in the line.
Okay.
Like months ago when they talked about it, but I might be remembering it wrong.
I mean, if we're getting one, we'll get the other, I'm sure,
yeah.
in a wider release. And Nightbeat being the bigger name makes sense.
And I wonder if this is going to be a Headmaster too.
Oh, it better be.
No. But the Cyclonus' Armada, that makes me think it's going to be a repaint of the Kingdom Cyclonus.
Mm-hmm.
But also the PulseCon, the Deluxe Orion Pax, and Voyager Alpha Trion, I'm wondering what that's going to be. And then the Voyager Antagony, that seems like, is that it? Because Antagony was a beast, like that was another, I think, BotCon exclusive Beast Wars character that was a spider, like a remold of a Black Arachnia. So are we getting a Voyager size Black Arachnia? Because the Kingdom Black Arachnia is deluxe, right? So what is
it's an
Inferno?
Yeah.
Oh, is it an Inferno? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I was misremembering. I thought it was a remold of Black Arachnia, but I guess it's Inferno. Okay. That's
apparently Ant in the name refers to the alt mode.
But we didn't get a Beast Wars Inferno in Kingdom, did we? So does that mean we're getting a Legacy Inferno at some point? Beast Wars Inferno?
That was another one that was rumored, is a Legacy Inferno, and a lot of people think it might be Beast Wars because we just got like the normal Inferno, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, like whatever the Velocitron is, a Blur and Cosmos, I'd be interested in that. I mean, I guess for all of these, if they're all like retools or repaints of figures that are coming out in the main line, that's less interesting. But I guess since we had a lot of these things seem like we haven't even seen hints of what the mainline figures are going to be. So these are good hints, I guess. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, it kind of hints to what their repaints of.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Daryl, what are your thoughts on this list?
There's a lot of stuff on this list here. Looking through it, there's a couple things here that interest me. I like the idea of the Deluxe Cosmos. Personally, I have no problem with them bringing the mini bots into the Deluxe class. They spent enough time in the relegated to the small scale to bring them up.
Yeah. Leave the core class for the characters like Ravage, and then just these smaller versions of other characters they want to do.
Yeah, I'm fine with them promoting them into the Deluxe scale. The rest of the Minerva and stuff like that, that's a very interesting thing. I'm very curious to see what they do with that. Generally, Walgreens exclusives, which will be ported over here to EB or what they're calling GameStop now, they are not new molds. They're always some kind of repaint. So a Deluxe Minerva is likely something we've seen already or will see in this line. Maybe because Override could be a very similar styled vehicle. It could be recolored into a Minerva. The Wreckers, I'm a big fan of Wreckers. These figures, if they do the impactor right, I could be interested in swaying me towards an impactor. The Top Spin and Twins Twist, they really knocked it out of the park with the ones from the Titans Return line. Leadfoot, I could care less about really. Springer, there's been some really knockout Springers in the last few years, and the Bulkhead. I mean, the one we're getting. Is it a Voyager? The one that everyone kind of the one that's been made.
Yeah.
So then that's this one with a redeco on it. So, I mean, that's an easy pass for me. The only ones here that, I don't really see anything here that's really jumping out to me as something like, oh my God, yes, I got to get that. Everything's more of a wait and see what it kind of looks like first. If that kind of, there's always been something on this list that's already taking that spot in my collection already. The only thing here is the Minerva, which is kind of what Dr. Panchett said. I really don't have a mainline Minerva. So if this one looks half decent, then yeah, I'm on board. But if it's it's just some kind of random recolor or repaint, then I'm not that big of a deal. If I can miss out on it, it's not a big worry for me. But there's a lot of stuff here, and at some point, it's going to come down to perhaps just people just blurting out names. And maybe I've said this before, but eventually, if you just say every name that's been been made, or that hasn't been made, you're going to start hitting on the ones that are going to come out, right? Because they're, if they add, might as well put a leader class Optimus Prime on this list here, because he's probably coming out too
come
some
on.
point. So yeah, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like. But I'm not. None of it is really getting me going right now.
Well, what about this? What if they brought back the jump starter gimmick for Top Spin and Twin Twist?
Fucking right. Now I'm in. I want to see that. I want to.
2022 engineering for jump starters.
Give those jump starters a little bit more articulation, like maybe a neck that turns. But just something, and still make them do the jump starter gimmick. Damn, those would be awesome figures. But yeah, that would be amazing.
Can Can I point out something dumb I just looked up? Because we're talking about Topspin and Twin Twist. They both have the Salt Man name next to them.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant. Did you guys?
No.
It's apparently it was a special color version, right? Because apparently both Twin Twist and Topspin got re-released as Saltman X and Saltman Z. And Topspin is blue or black and white, and Twin Twist is yellow and black as the Saltman. So is that saying it's the Saltman colors, and we'll get Twin Twist and Topspin in their regular colors sometime?
Maybe.
Or is it?
That would be an Amazon exclusive, right? So that's what these are.
Yeah.
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 It would be a shame that the Wreckers version wouldn't be the colors you're expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd never run across that name before. So
I didn't either. I just had to look it up because it was bothering me why it was there, and I learned something new.
We all did. Thank you. All right. Well, what do you have this week, Dr. Vance?
I've got a Deathsaurus, or Deathsaurus, or however you want to say it. Mastermind Creations shared images of a test shot of their reformatted R42 DZEF, which is the masterpiece scale Deathsaurus. This is, of course, done in the MMC style. This is way more than meets the eye, Lost Light style, and it will definitely fit in with that collection. So this is probably not going to fit too well with the Masterpiece Star Saber because I don't think it's going to be big enough, and it's definitely a different style, but this thing looks great. It definitely has that great comic book looking style. We don't have the right colors just yet, but we get to see all the little details in the plastic, and all the different points of articulation are showed off in a couple of these images, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. I love that head sculpt. That head for Deathsaurus in the comics was really, really cool. His giant monster chicken Godzilla mode looks really cool with the big splayed out wings like that. This looks really, really cool. I really like this. Unfortunately, with X Transbots doing the more masterpiece styled version that's more cartoon accurate, I'm definitely going to pick that one up over this. But for anybody who's a fan of the comics, especially more than Meets the Eye and Lost Light, like, I think this is a great piece to put in your collection. So, Daryl, what do you think? Is this the Deathsaurus for you?
If I was in the market for a Deathsaurus, this would be the one I'd get. The little team picture they've got as the third one here with Tarn and Overlord, just looks awesome. I have those other two figures, and I'd be wanting to kind of make this Brotherhood of Evil bots kind of picture, and that it does. The aesthetic works. It looks great. And the Mastermind Creations reformatted line is, I think we did hear that it is coming to an end with this figure. It's either this one or one other one is their last one in the reformatted line. But yeah, this thing looks really, really good. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do as far as, a Deathsaurus. It's really hasn't been on my radar. Cause I really haven't had any kind of connection to the character whatsoever other than the comics that, this is obviously, pulled from. But, if I'm ever at a convention and it's, there's like $300 burning the hole in my pocket and I don't have anything else I want to get, then yeah, I guess I'll pick one of these up. But it's not super high on my priority list right now. But I really do like how it looks.
Cool. It does look like it's going to be a fair shake cheaper also than the X Transbots one. That's $250, $300. This one's looking to be about $150, $160 American.
Oh, that is way better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's way better. So again, if you got the money burning a hole in your pocket, there you go. You can get yourself a Deathsaurus. Maybe, though, we'll get lucky and we can get like a Chug-style one from Hasbro that'll go with the HasLab Star Saber. It'll be even cheaper.
You never know.
But we don't. We get all these rumors and everything, but no Deathsaurus yet. But it could happen. Charles, what do you think? You got some of the MMC figures. You want this, right? You want a Deathsaurus. Robot Chicken, come on.
It's a good-looking figure. I mean, I'd say he's a kaiju, not a chicken.
I couldn't remember the word, and it bothers the crap out of me that I couldn't. So thank you. Yes, kaiju. That's what I wanted.
But yeah, I mean, the more the meets the eye connection is stronger for me than the Japanese cartoon. Because yeah, I mean, but I'm moving away from picking up bigger figures, so probably I will pass on this one. But it is a good looking figure, and I do like how it's that team shot with Overlord and Tarn. It looks really nice. So you could build a Lost Light villains shelf with these figures. And I can't see the detail on the head. Does it have like the four eyes that the character did in the cartoon or in the More Than Meets the Eye comic?
Yeah, it does. Right above it, it's got like the beak, and there's two spots there for the eyes that are recessed. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was just a nice little. I mean, they really Mastermind Creations should be paying royalties to Alex Milne for all these designs.
But should be paying royalties to Hasbro.
Yeah, that too.
Or just IDW, keep them in business, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, it is a really nice looking figure. Very, very solid.
All right. Well then, Jeremy, do you have room in your collection for a kaiju chicken dragon?
Probably not. I mean, this looks great, but I'm not a big third-party Masterpiece scale collector. I do. I mean, I just appreciate all these things from afar. I love seeing kind of these early shots where you can just clearly see what it's going to look like, but then just like what all the different pieces of plastic are. And is that in his Robot Mode ankles metal pieces?
I think so, and it's the same thing in like the kaiju feet too. Then,
yeah. So that's going to go a long way towards stabilization. I think just making it feel like a heavy, beefy figure. So yeah, I really, really like the way this looks. It's not something I have room for in my collection.
That's fair. It is a nice piece to appreciate, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's on display sometime at a convention and I can at least just look at it and admire. But that's all I got. So Charles, drive it home.
Okay, so first off, this is a really quick one. I just want to mention we got some new packaging information for figures that we're getting in addition to the first wave of legacy figures. We're getting some figures from Kingdom repackaged as legacy figures. So I mean, I think we mentioned it briefly, but the leader Galvatron from Kingdom is being repackaged as a legacy figure, and it looks like all the battle damage is gone from the legacy Galvatron. So woohoo, no battle damage. And hopefully that's a trend for other upcoming re-released Kingdom or War for Cybertron figures in the legacy line. In addition to that, I mean, we already talked about the buzzworthy Bumblebee, cup getting released as a buzzworthy Bumblebee figure now with even a more accurate for the 86 movie than the original Studio Series 86 cup release. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to primarily I was interested in the Galvatron with no battle damage, but I know Daryl will remind me that it's very easy to take the battle damage off of the Kingdom Galvatron. So
have you seen my YouTube?
Maybe you should link it on your Twitter.
No, I'll never see it there. But the topic I wanted to talk about was new figures from Fans Hobby, and these are Armada figures. These are prototypes for an Armada Overload and an Armada Tidal Wave. So these are big figures. I mean, these were pretty, huge figures in the original Armada line, and compared to they've already created some masterpiece scaled Armada, Optimus Prime, and Megatron figures, and now they're releasing these even larger figures, the Tidal Wave and Overlord. Now Overload, I should say, not Overlord, Overload. And you can see them in the prototypes standing next to the previous figures that were released. And so I'm just interested to see what these are going to look like, particularly the Tidal Wave. And will the Tidal Wave come apart and combine with their Megatron? And was there a similar gimmick with the Overload? Did that combine with the Optimus Prime? So
I believe it did.
Yeah, he becomes he clips onto the back shoulders and becomes two giant cannons.
Ah, okay. So I wonder if they're going to make those gimmicks as well. They're going to, for these third party figures. So, Daryl, are you interested in these Armada figures?
I mean, I have the originals that look great, and I do like Fans Hobby stuff. But these guys they're out of my price range. They're just too expensive. For anybody who's getting these, I'm jealous. These are amazing figures, and I if you want to have me over to kind of mess with them, I'm available. But yeah, I'm out of the game on these ones. They're way too out of my price range.
Fair enough.
They look amazing though.
Well, Dr. Pants, are they in your price range?
No. I love Fans Hobby. I mean, I've got the Power Baser and the God Armor to go with it, and that was probably the most expensive thing I've bought in a long time, and that's where I had to stop it, because that's an impressive piece. I love Power Master Prime. I needed that. I've got the Fans Hobby, Headmaster Juniors. They're really cool, but they're way more affordable. And while I really like these designs, they're too expensive for something that I don't have that much of a connection to. I did watch Armada. I kind of enjoyed it a little bit, and some of the figures are cool. I have the original Prime with Jetfire and Overload, and I think that's where I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to lie. These look really good. Faithful representations of the original characters, but done masterpiece style. This looks really, really cool. And that Tidal Wave looks amazing. Even just in that one color. But looking at all the little points of articulation and just how it's shaping up, it looks great. But if you're a mega fan of Armada, you're probably going to love these, and it's probably worth it for you. But I can't.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to. I think these are for the Armada fans who are coming of age now, getting that disposable income. It looks like they're becoming the target market now. Jeremy, what do you think of these? I know you've been a big fan of the Bendy Prime, but does that extend to other Armada figures?
Some, but I remember I had the Overload, but I wasn't. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't too impressed with it at the time, but I think I was also kind of falling out with the series itself. Kind of soured me on some of the toys, but I can appreciate these. I like the way they look. I know Tidal Wave is going to be a monster figure and people are going to go crazy over it. But outside of Bendy Prime and the Megatron, I don't think I had too many Armada figures. So I don't really have a lot of connection to these. And, I am happy that people that grew up with Armada as their G1 are now getting some of this love from the third party figures, though.
All right. Well, that's all our toy topics, and we will move on to trips to the store. This is where we show off all the cool Transformer stuff we got this week. We do this as a video so you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition on our YouTube channel. But we'll have the audio right here in the show so you can keep listening as we describe everything we got in loving detail. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right, ready to show off our stuff. I'm going to go first because I don't have a lot of stuff. Beast Wars comic, again, just wanted to, show that off a little bit. One thing I wanted to mention, though, is I noticed the paper quality has been downgraded in the recent IDW comics. I don't know if anyone's noticed that. It's, usually you get the high glossy paper with the IDW comics, and it's a little bit less, it's kind of, closer to the Marvel DC, low quality grade paper comics. So that might be indicative of more of IDW's financial troubles, trying to cut some corners there, cut some costs, but still a good comic. The art and the story is fun and awesome. It was a really good, fun book. I enjoyed. So look forward to talking about that in alt mode this week. I also wanted to show off. One of my Christmas presents. This was from my awesome and amazing wife. She got me a scene from the Transformers '86 animated movie, signed by Peter Cullen. So this is going to go right up here behind me.
What angle is it going to be at?
How about like this?
Everything else is crooked.
Yeah. That's I think like that. How about that?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, next week you'll see this hanging up probably over here somewhere out there.
Damn.
But yeah,
That's
thanks
awesome.
to my wife for getting that in a signed print there. So, and it's got
Very cool.
authentication there that it's authenticated. So,
Awesome.
That's really cool.
yeah, that was an awesome. Yeah,
Once
awesome
again,
Transformers Christmas
Once
gift.
again, she did outdo us all. So you should have gone last.
Better than anything I got. Way better.
Well, now I'll pass it over to Jeremy.
All right. Well, my wife. Well, no.
Loves you very much.
She does. What I picked out for basically my son to get me for Christmas was the Origins Bumblebee.
Nice.
Which is a good figure. Although I didn't try to transform him until today, and I have a migraine. So I just gave up and put him back into robot mode because the joints on this are very, very tight, and just with my headache, I wasn't able to focus on it. But he looks really cool. The paint looks really good. I really like how you see the Volkswagen details in here, but then during the transformation, it hides it very well to make it look like the spaceship. And then one of the real reasons you get that is you get the energon rods, which is great.
They won't last a Cortex.
Yeah. And then I have some other stuff I'm going to show next week that my son actually pressured my wife into picking out for me for Christmas. So like, this was what we agreed that he was going to get us. But then in the store, he was like, well, Daddy likes this. So I'll show that off next week. I have these little stocking stuffers that my wife grabbed that Santa brought. These are the little tiny Titans that kind of transform. I got Whirl, Optimus Prime, and Shockwave. And, nothing really to these. Shockwave probably looks the best in robot mode. But then I was noticing Optimus Prime actually has a little axe. I don't know if you'll focus there. There's a little axe molded in I just noticed today. So, you know, a little bit of effort going into these guys, but, you know, not really much to these. And they're just something to fiddle with. But that's all I got this week. I'm going to hold the rest of my stuff till next week.
All right, Dr. Pants, I think you're up next.
I only have 4 things because Christmas is not a time for Transformers for Dr. Pants in this household. Sadly, it's focused on other things. But I have some stuff. I got
every other day of the year is
it's every other day. we focus on the other things. But I did get my golden disc packages in, so I got Jackpot and Sights, and I had Jackpot as a kid. I had the Action Master, so I was real happy to grab this. The Jazz mold is awesome. And this is a good representation of Jackpot. And the vehicle mode looks really good in these colors. I like the black and yellow with the hints of orange and everything. Really cool figure. Really, really enjoy that. And then the other golden disc set, because I only got 2 of them. I got the one that was Road Ranger and Puffer. Road Ranger, I love this design. I love the head sculpt. I love the black and the orange, and then the silver weapons and everything. I just think it looks really, really good. I have Huffer, and now I kind of want to just get rid of it and just replace him with this because it's the same mold, and I think this one's better. And then Puffer, well, I haven't found Pipes yet, and I think I'm just going to keep Puffer because it's pretty much Pipes with just a different color, and I think the white and blue works really nice with this. I like the overall white color. He's got a little off-white on there that really sets it off, and yeah, he's really cool. This whole mold was really, really good. A fun transformation, and I can hook up Prime's trailer to it. That's fun. But
it's really neat how it's essentially the same mold that they tweak the transformation.
yeah, just by adding in that little part in the back where it can just turn around. So that is really cool. I like it when they do that. And then the last one I got, I held off for a while. I didn't think I needed it. I don't need it. I didn't think I wanted it. And then I saw it and I said, screw it. Let's just pick it up. And I got Studio Series 86 Gnaw. And I held off because I said, I've got the Legends class one. That's fine. That's a good enough Sharkticon. And then I bought this and I'm like, that thing's garbage. This is the king. This thing's awesome. And it is. Like, I love this figure. The transformation's awesome. He's big. He's squat and bulky, and like the mouth being able to move like that. Like, this looks straight out of the movie. He looks way better than the Legends one does, and I don't know why I was a pain in the ass about it up until recently. So, but it's a great figure, and anybody who wants a Sharkticon, like, just go try to find one if you can, because it's such a cool little figure. But yeah, that was that's all I got. Just a bunch of deluxes this time. So I'm sorry, Daryl. I've disappointed. Sorry.
All right, Daryl, put us to shame.
Well, it's not really fair because I still have stuff left over from TFCon, but I'm still going to destroy you. So, so the one thing I have to start off with, this is not anything I got from TFCon, but it is something that came in, I think, the day or 2 after TFCon. This is just a piece of clothing for my night beat. So it's now the trench coat for my Fans Hobby. What is he called? I don't know. He's Night Beat. He's Fans Hobby Night Beat, but he's now Detective Night Beat. And so he's got a trench coat now, and it's ridiculous, but he's fun. So yeah.
Where did you find a trench coat? Like, I'm assuming somebody specific
from the Fans Hobby site.
Really? They sell a trench coat on there?
Yeah, it's stupid expensive. So it's like $30 for a trench coat. But
it's a good looking trench coat, though.
It looks good, and it's actually got printed on the inside Fans Hobby, website stuff. So it's a legitimate piece of.
Do they have a little Maltese Falcon for him to hold?
No, I think I might have to find one of those elsewhere. And somebody else posted something during the holidays about they had him wearing a hat like a I don't know what
fedora.
A fedora,
yeah. So and it looked fantastic. So now I've got to find a little fedora for him from somewhere. But yeah. So a couple other pieces I got from TFCon. I'm going to start with I'll start with these ones, sure. I forget what they're called. Their third party names are, but I decided to step into the pool for the Legends class aerial bots. So I'm going to get this little guy. This is from Zeta Toys. So we've got I don't remember any other names. The freaking aerial bots. Other than Slingshot and Silverbolt, I forget all their other names. But
I think that's an air raid.
Is that
right?
Yeah, that's right. Skydive and air raid. The white one is skydive. The black one is air raid, I believe, or other way around. I don't know.
Okay. But these guys are really great. They transform really well. There's die cast in these guys, which is crazy. The shins definitely are made of die cast, and I think the middle, like the crotch bit, is made of die cast. But they transform really well.
That's
There's
what
a lot
she
of
said.
Tiny. I don't even know if that one works.
That's what she said.
But but I really like the way that these guys transform. There's a lot of like the hinges and everything that kind of like bends and moves on it. So I haven't tried to put these guys into their component modes because there really is no other pieces that go along with them. I'm assuming that everything's going to come with the Silverbolt. So I'll have to get that. The one thing that I did get that did have its component pieces because it just turns into them, and I haven't transformed back because it's insane, are what is it? What is it?
Magic Square?
The Magic Square ones, yeah. So these are not New Age, these are Magic Square, and these are Scrapper and Mixmaster from that set. So the first two, I know that at least the second two are out now, and these took me forever to transform. You talk about toy engineering and how it's progressed. These guys are insane for the amount of articulation that has gone into these. They are crazy articulated. There's a like an ankle tilt on both of these guys. Excuse me. There's an alternate. Well, I don't know if it's supposed to be an alternate transformation, but for all the pictures that they show you with this guy and as a foot for Mixmaster, he's got these two like little, I guess, toes sticking out of the front of him here when he's a foot. I didn't like the way that looked, so I kind of messed around with it to see if I could, there they are there. So I just kind of twisted them around and was able to close it up, and it looks pretty good. So yeah, these guys look really great together as feet. It's going to be a while before I get all six of them together. So it's going to, I'll probably have to put these guys back into their robot modes because just having them hang around as feet are, looks kind of dumb, but,
just put them on your shelf like that.
That's where they've been. But yeah, they are incredible toys and really, really hard to transform. So it's not often I have to take out instructions to transform figures. I did with those. I got two more pieces here, and these are some G1s that I got. This is one, and that always falls off. May not even put that on. This is G1 Ironworks.
Ooh.
So I never had this one, and I never had even a piece of it. So that's the part that fell off was a little ramp, and it doesn't stay on very well. But anyway, it's complete, and yeah, so he's cool. And now I have all four of the little MicroMaster bases, the mini MicroMaster bases.
You can now make your city.
I think I've got all the bases actually. I could put them all together and see what I can produce with it. So yeah, but they're really cool, and yeah,
it's a good one.
I'm glad to have him. He's a neat one. And then the last one I got here is one that I really didn't have any kind of plans to buy, but he's on the list of figures I didn't have, so I picked him up. This is G1 Axer.
Oh, that's cool.
And I only kind of picked, I saw him and I was like, he was in a comic recently. That's cool.
Yeah.
So there you go. So the comics got me to buy a figure from the late 1980s. So yeah, he's 100% complete as well.
You should tweet Jack Lawrence and the other people that do the Wreckers book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he's great. He looks fantastic. And yeah, he's pretty cool.
I had that one as a kid. I specifically remember the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh, such a cool figure.
Yeah, so the Action Masters, they don't transform, but they come with, these awesome little pieces here, these little vehicles, some of them, and you can attach little bits and pieces to them and turn them into have them little ride these things, and yeah, for the most part, they're they really don't do a whole hell of a lot, but they're kind of fun. So yeah, Axer, G1 Axer. But that's it. That's all I've got, and my TFCon haul is done. And yeah, there you go.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
We're back from our trips to the store, and we'll move on to convention news.
Right. In convention news this week, BotCon 2022 was announced. We knew this was coming, but they have announced that they will be in Nashville, Tennessee, August 25th through 28th. It will be at the Embassy, the new Hilton Embassy Suites in downtown Nashville. And looks like their room prices are going to be around $225. They only have a single room type available. And that's $225 a night. So over the weekend, that will be very pricey on top of the convention itself. It says it is presented by Agabus. We don't know at this point if the people behind the Agabus store are running the convention or if they are just the sponsor. And I think at this point, none of us are really comfortable in going. We don't really know who is behind, who is officially behind the convention. There is obviously problematic stuff in the past with the people that ran BotCon. So I don't know, personally, until there's more information, I wouldn't feel comfortable going, but they announced that they are putting on the show. So we wanted to present that and give people links if they do want to go. You guys want to make any comments on this?
I mean, yeah, it's, I think they need to, I mean, the question is always give us some more. I mean, it feels like it's the information is kind of trickling out. So I guess, yeah, I mean, until we get some more clarification about what's, who's running it and what's going to be there, I think, we'll just have to wait and see. But I mean, the other thing is with the COVID situation, I mean, I know on the BotCon website, they say, they're going to require masks throughout the convention, which is good. But yeah, I mean, keep in mind, Nashville is and Tennessee is I think they're pretty much not following any mask mandates or anything down there. So
yeah,
I mean, maybe by August, COVID will be very well contained. I mean, I'm crossing my fingers that hope springs eternal. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like things are going that way. I mean, but yeah, I mean, and we'll have to see, but yeah, I don't know.
Another thing to mention with this is like a lot of the casual fans that might just know the BotCon name might assume it's still licensed by Hasbro, and it is not. It is like on the same footing as TFCon, any other convention. That I don't think Hasbro is going to be licensing any other shows now that they're doing PulseCon.
Well, that was going to be my comment, is that they're kind of banking on the ignorance of the fans, not knowing that they're not related to BotCon, or they're not related to Hasbro anymore. So is it kind of up to us as quote unquote a media outlet to get the word out that it's just a show that the exclusives that really made the old BotCon, a place to go and get something that was valuable.
Which was made by Hasbro.
Right. Something that was considered, canon. If you were a collector of figures that were, legitimately made by Hasbro, that you could say, oh, I've got the only character of such and such that's ever been made. That's, a legitimately, official Hasbro product, that ship has sailed. That's over. Is it up to us as a podcast to get that word out and to kind of spread that? Cause I mean, there's a lot of people that don't listen to our show that, it's up to, the rest of the fan community to kind of pass that word along. I have no problem with people wanting to go to a convention to just kind of buy toys and shit and, hang out with friends and, see people. That's why I go to TFCon, right? The people that run it. Yeah. Okay. Maybe the person that runs it or there's maybe a person involved with the people that run it that's a piece of shit. And yeah, okay, that happens. And you're going to find that. But the problem I have more with it is that they're really not doing anything to kind of represent themselves in the proper light. You know what I mean? I'd much rather them say, okay, we're a new BotCon, same name, different associations, or I don't know what a tagline could be, but that's, our exclusives are not made by Hasbro. We have no associations with Hasbro anymore. And that's, the way it's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, I have no problem with them, pulling from the legacy of the BotCon name. Cause they, there is a legacy there, but the communication has been severely lacking in details. Even the website is very bare bones. With TFCon, Colin is the person behind it. With some of the other conventions, it's very clear you can get in contact with the organizers. I think we've had the people behind Sidefest on, and it's easy to contact the organizers. Here it is, the website has no information other than just their social media links.
Yeah.
And that's my big problem. I want to know who's behind it, get some more information, and there's not that option.
Right. It's been a while now, but I did reach out to the people that were, associated with BotCon at the time when I did reach out to them, and I got no response whatsoever. So, perhaps we should reach out again, but I mean, but that's a discussion for off the air. But that's going to this. I'm more concerned about people going to this convention thinking that they can buy a set of exclusives and turn it for a quick buck, because that's what old BotCon was about. You could generally pay for your vacation if you bought 2 sets of exclusives.
That's what I did.
Exactly. And that's what everyone did. And people are still trying to sell old BotCon sets for huge money. Right. And that's fine if they're worth that. Right. But if the new BotCon is going to try and do the same thing, then that's what I have a problem
with. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. There is such little information out right now. We don't even know what the registration is going to cost. There's been, only the hotel announcement thus far. And also, this is apparently a brand new hotel. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's going to be some issues from that, just, because, new hotel. They say it'll open in the spring.
The hotel is not even built yet?
Well, it says in here, the hotel opens early 2022.
Oh, wow.
So it'll have been open for a few months. but with any new business or, well, I mean, it's a Hilton, so not a new business, but there's going to be things that happen. So just be aware of that as well. So anyway, we just wanted to pass along this news. We will pass along updates when they come out. So that will be all we have for convention news.
All right, and we'll finish up the show with feedback. And we've got a Christmas voicemail from our good friend John 4X Lemongood.
Hey guys, John 4X Lemongood here again. As we get to the end of 2021 and into 2022, my question for you guys is, what is your favorite Transformer or Transformer-related item from last year? And what are you most looking forward to in the upcoming year? For me, personally, it's Studio Series Grimlock. It was a gift for my wife, and it's got a lot of personal meaning to me this year. As far as upcoming is the continuation of that Studio Series Dinobot line. I really love them, love the transformations. They've so far been great, and I just can't wait to collect the rest of the series. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Well, I guess for me, for 2021, that Studio Series Hot Rod was really a really nice figure, and I was got to Dr. Pants, you helped me get that, pick that one up. And, that's one I've been playing with a lot, and it's a really good, really well done hot rod. So that's I think my favorite figure from 2021. 2022. Well, I mean, we just talked about upcoming figures. I mean, I guess if there is a Nightbeat coming, I think that's one I'm looking forward to. That's one of my favorite characters. It's I don't know. I haven't been looking at all the rumors really well as to what's coming in Legacy, but I'll have to wait and see what else is good is coming in 2022. Daryl, what do you think?
Well, it's that's a good question, and thanks for asking it, John. I definitely don't have an answer as heartfelt as yours. So, I don't know. I guess the best figure I think I probably picked up in 2021. Man, something. I mean, it probably came right at the end of the year with the G1 Star Saber. That's something that I thought I'd never probably ever own. And I'm probably really impressed with that. Something brand new though, like something that I got off the shelf that I was really impressed with. I've just been kind of looking off of the around the room. I picked up a lot of, I guess I don't know, what do you call them? The high end KOs. I don't know what else you want to call them.
Like fourth party.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. I picked up a number of those this year, and I was really impressed with how well that those things were made. And, going forward, I might probably try and pick up a lot more of those. The MP44 fourth party is a really good figure, and I'm really impressed with that. I'm just kind of looking around my room just to kind of see what else I kind of picked up this year. I picked up a lot of stuff. But looking at 2022 as far as like the year ahead and what kind of stuff I'm looking at getting, this past 2 weeks has had me spend an awful lot of time here at the house, and I cleaned up my my office here drastically. And while doing that, I found that probably at least 50% of my Transformers collection is just sitting in boxes in the house. And it's mostly just mainline stuff, and I don't look at it anymore. I don't mess with it. I don't think about it. So I may look at, kind of starting to cut a lot of that out of, my buying habits. It'll save a lot of trips to the store. So I don't have to go in and pick up that stuff and get me out of like Walmarts and, COVID infested areas. If I, want to be honest with myself, and get me ordering a lot more online stuff. So, going ahead in 2022, I'll probably be looking to do a lot more of that.
For me, I think that Studio Series Grimlock and the Slag probably were some of my favorite toys last year. They're both excellent, and I'm looking forward to the Sludge. But I think that when we talked about the rumors for the stuff that's coming, that Black Convoy or Scourge has to be at the top of my list for most anticipated figures, just because the original one was so good, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the new line.
All right, and Dr. Pants, we'll end it with you.
I got a lot of stuff last year, and there's a lot of cool stuff I picked up, but I can narrow it down to like my two favorite things. Both figures I've been looking for years. I got the original Beast Wars second Leo Convoy. I showed that off the last time I was on trips to the store. I'm really happy I got that because I've always wanted that figure. And the other one was the RID 2001 Ultra Magnus. So I could finally combine it with the RID 2001 Optimus Prime and make Ultra Prime. And I love that figure. That whole combination just looks so cool. So I'm so happy to have both of those in my collection. Definitely two of my favorite things I picked up. There was a lot of good stuff in 2021, though. Like a lot of good mainline stuff. As far as what I'm looking forward to in 2022, I want to see what they do with the legacy stuff. But mostly, I am looking forward to, and I'm hoping it comes out this month, I want that NBK transforming sniper rifle. Like the life-size sniper rifle. I am looking for... The minute I saw it, I pre-ordered it, and I am so pumped for this thing.
Wow.
Because it looks ridiculous. It was one of those figures that even my friends who know nothing about Transformers but saw that sent me pictures, and they were like, you need to get this. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and I hope it's not garbage.
I'm looking forward to seeing you show it off.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully for next trips to the store. It's scheduled for January, so.
All right. Well, that takes us to the end of this episode of Transmissions. As always, at the end, we give a shout out to our Masterpiece Donatreon. So thank you again to John 4X Lemongood, Dinobot Maximize, Demon Tech 82, and Curtis Akan. Another way to help out the show is to buy some merchandise from our TeePublic store. That's at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. So yeah, it's a new year. Maybe you want to pick up some new designs, some new shirts and merchandise, belated Christmas gifts or something. Dr. Pants, thanks again for joining us this week. Where can people find your stuff online?
You can find me and all the Nerdstradamus crew at nerdstradamus.com. All our links are there, but you can mostly just find us on YouTube. The Nerdstradamus channel is where we post pretty much all of our videos. We've got normal videos. We've been doing shorts lately, and it's mostly gaming content, some fun comedy stuff. And hopefully soon you'll see videos of us talking about our favorite games of 2021 and what we're most looking forward to in 2022. So check us out there, and Friday nights we stream. It's a new year. We're getting back to it. So Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are on Nerdstradamus streaming some games.
All right. And that'll do it for this episode of Transmissions. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.